The midnight pass stretched ahead, a winding path draped in shadows, where the moonlight barely touched the ground. Tall trees lined the route, their branches twisting like ancient fingers reaching out to catch the night air. As the driver entered this mystical place, he felt a shiver of excitement run down his spine. The air was thick with whispers, soft murmurs that seemed to come from the very heart of the night, sharing secrets that only the brave could hear. In the distance, shadows danced playfully, flickering and swirling as if they had a life of their own. The ground was cool beneath his feet, and the gentle rustle of leaves created a symphony that accompanied his journey. He could almost see the stars twinkling above, hidden by the thick canopy of branches that pressed close together. But it was not just the sounds that filled the air. There was also a sweet scent of blooming night flowers, their petals glowing faintly in the darkness. Each step taken felt like a step into a new world, one where anything could happen. The driver tightened his grip on his stage lantern, its bright feathers beginning to shimmer, ready to lead him through this enchanting yet mysterious midnight pass. The driver, known as Eli, was a figure of courage in the village near the midnight pass. His reputation spread far and wide, as he had helped countless travelers navigate its mysterious pathways. With tousled hair and a warm smile, he always seemed to be ready for the next adventure. Eli's most trusted companion was his remarkable stage lantern, a special light that not only illuminated the path ahead, but also guided lost souls who wandered too close to the shadows. As he walked deeper into the pass, Eli felt the familiar thrill of anticipation while holding the lantern tightly. The vibrant feathers sprouting from it shimmered like jewels in the dim light, casting a colorful glow that danced along the ground and up into the trees. Travelers often marveled at how the lantern attracted tiny flickers of light that swirled around him like enchanted fireflies. Eli moved steadily, scanning the path for any signs of trouble. He knew the secrets of the midnight pass better than anyone. Its twists could lead to danger if not approached with care. With his lantern shining brightly and a heart full of bravery, Eli was determined to ensure that anyone who journeyed with him would reach their destination safely, no matter how dark it became. Eli's stage lantern was unlike any other. Sprouting from its base were vibrant feathers that glowed in a rainbow of colors, each one shimmering with its own unique light. As he walked through the midnight pass, the lantern lit up the darkness, casting a warm and inviting glow that danced along the winding path. The colors shifted and swirled, creating an enchanting atmosphere around him, as if the night itself had come alive. The bright feathers not only illuminated the ground but also attracted tiny, fluttering creatures that began to gather around Eli. These glowing beings twinkled like stars, adding to the magical ambience of the pass. With each step, they twirled and flitted about, forming a beautiful flock of light that followed Eli closely, eager to join him on his journey. The lantern's gentle glow helped chase away the lurking shadows, revealing the hidden beauty of the midnight pass. Flowers sparkled with dew, and the leaves shimmered as if sprinkled with stardust. Eli smiled at the sight, feeling a deep connection to his lantern. It was more than just a source of light. It was a beacon of hope and warmth in a place where darkness often reigned. As Eli walked through the midnight pass, the vibrant feathers of his lantern began to dance more vigorously, drawing in tiny creatures that resembled glowing fireflies. These delicate beings, with their soft luminescence, fluttered gracefully through the air, captivated by the enchanting colors emitted from the lantern. One by one, they joined the fluttering flock around Eli, creating a dazzling display of light that seemed to pulse in rhythm with his heartbeat. The flock swirled and glided, weaving through the shadows like shimmering stars in a midnight sky. It was as if they were responding to an unspoken call from the lantern, eager to be part of its magic. The light from each creature added a layer of brilliance, enhancing the already mesmerizing glow of Eli's stage lantern. Together, they painted the darkness with vivid hues of blue, green, and gold, illuminating even the most hidden corners of the pass. Eli watched in awe as the flock danced about him, their soft buzz filling the air with a melody of hope and joy. He felt a surge of warmth in his heart, knowing that he was not alone on this journey. With every fluttering movement, the creatures reminded him of the beauty and wonder that thrived even in the darkest of places. Just as Eli and his fluttering flock began to feel at ease in the midnight pass, a sudden gust of wind swept through the trees, sending a shiver down his spine. The playful whispers of the night transformed into a low growl, and dark clouds gathered overhead, blocking out the moonlight. A storm was brewing, and it threatened to extinguish the warm glow of his lantern and scatter his precious companions. Eli tightened his grip on the lantern, feeling its vibrant feathers tremble against the rising winds. The once cheerful flickers around him began to flicker nervously, their lights dimming as the storm approached. With each crack of thunder, the path ahead seemed to dissolve into shadows, making it harder for Eli to see. He could feel panic swelling in his chest, but he knew he had to stay calm for the flock. "Stay close," he called out, urging the glowing creatures to remain by his side. The wind howled louder, making it difficult to hear anything but nature's fury. Eli focused on keeping the light steady, desperate to protect both the lantern and the flock from being swallowed by the darkness. He took a deep breath, summoning all his courage to face this unexpected challenge head-on. Eli stood firm against the howling wind, his heart racing but his resolve unwavering. He could feel the energy of the storm swirling around him, but he refused to let fear take hold. "I won't let the darkness win," he vowed, speaking softly yet firmly to both himself and his flock. In that moment, he felt an unbreakable bond with the glowing creatures surrounding him, as if their light and spirit were intertwined with his own. With each crack of thunder, Eli steadied the lantern even more, its vibrant feathers flickering defiantly against the storm. He knew that if he allowed doubt to creep in, it could dim not only his light but also the hope of those who relied on him. "Stay with me," he called out, his voice rising above the roaring winds. The tiny creatures responded, their lights pulsing brightly as they gathered closer around him, forming a protective circle. Eli took a deep breath and focused on the warm glow of his lantern. Each flicker reminded him of the warmth he felt in their shared journey. With determination in his heart and a fierce will to protect them all, he pressed forward into the storm, ready to lead his flock through whatever challenges lay ahead. As the storm grew fiercer, the winds howled like a pack of wolves, and the rain began to lash against Eli's face. Each drop felt like a tiny dagger, cutting through his determination. Despite his resolve, doubt crept into his mind like an unwelcome shadow. "What if I can't lead them through this chaos?" he thought, glancing at the flickering lights of his flock as they wavered in the gusts. Their glow was dimming, and he feared the storm would scatter them into the darkness. Eli's heart raced as thunder roared above, shaking the very ground beneath him. He took a moment to breathe deeply, but it did little to calm the storm inside him. He could see the once bright lights of his companions flickering erratically, and for an instant, he felt a surge of panic. What if they get lost? What if I lose my way? The weight of responsibility pressed heavily on his shoulders. But in that moment of doubt, a small voice within him whispered words of encouragement, reminders of all the journeys he had taken before, and how he had always found his way. Eli clenched his jaw and straightened his back. No matter how fierce the storm became, he would not abandon them. He would find a way through together. As the storm raged on, Eli felt a shift in the energy around him. The glowing creatures, once flickering nervously, began to rally around his lantern, their light brightening with newfound strength. They formed a protective circle, creating a vibrant halo that pushed back against the encroaching darkness. Eli watched in amazement as their lights pulsed in harmony with his own lantern, transforming the chaos into a beautiful display of teamwork. "Thank you, my friends," he said, his voice steadying as he felt their loyalty. With every flicker and buzz, the creatures communicated their determination to support him. They flitted together, guiding Eli through the thickening shadows and showing him the safest path ahead. The flickering lights weaved in and out like a living tapestry, leading him toward brighter spaces amidst the gloom. With renewed hope, Eli pressed on, relying not just on himself but on the strength of his loyal flock. Together, they navigated obstacles that once seemed daunting. The storm continued to roar above, but the warmth of their unity empowered him to forge ahead. Eli realized that in their combined light, they could illuminate any darkness and conquer any challenge that came their way. As Eli and his glowing flock pressed on through the storm, the winds began to shift. With a newfound resolve, they surged forward together, every flickering light combining into a powerful beacon against the darkness. The rain still poured heavily, but now it felt less like a threat and more like a challenge they could face together. Eli held his lantern high, its vibrant feathers glowing brighter than ever as the creatures rallied around him. They flitted in synchronized movements, illuminating the path ahead and creating a dazzling spectacle of colors that danced amid the chaos. The storm seemed to weaken as if recognizing the strength of their unity. With every courageous step forward, Eli felt invincible, supported by the unwavering loyalty of his companions. As they navigated through the thick shadows, Eli could hear laughter in the gentle buzzing of the creatures, an echo of hope that filled him with joy. He realized that this was not just about surviving, it was about thriving together. In one triumphant moment, as they reached a clearing where the storm's fury began to fade, Eli's lantern shone brighter than it ever had before, casting away all doubt and darkness. United in their light, they had conquered adversity and emerged victorious from the storm. As Eli and his flock emerged on the other side of the Midnight Pass, a striking scene awaited them. The storm's chaos faded behind them, replaced by a peaceful landscape bathed in soft moonlight. The clouds dispersed, revealing a sky peppered with stars that sparkled like diamonds against the deep blue canvas above. A gentle breeze rustled through the leaves, carrying with it the sweet scent of lavender and night flowers, a soothing reminder of the serenity that followed the tempest. The ground beneath their feet became solid and dry, illuminated by the warm glow of Eli's lantern and the flickering lights from his loyal companions. It was as if the world had been washed clean, every hue appearing more vibrant than ever. The flowers glowed softly in the moonlight, and the trees stood tall and proud, their branches whispering sweet melodies of relief. Eli took a moment to breathe deeply, feeling a wave of calm wash over him. "We made it," he murmured, looking around at his glowing flock that danced joyfully in the refreshed air. Together, they had faced the storm and triumphed, united in their light and courage. In this tranquil haven, they could rest and rejoice in their adventure, knowing that together they could overcome any challenge that lay ahead. As Eli and his flock settled beneath the twinkling stars, he took a moment to reflect on their incredible journey. The trials they had faced in the Midnight Pass surged through his mind like the storm itself, but now they felt different, less daunting and more like stepping stones to growth. Each challenge had taught him more about courage and resilience, but it was the bond he shared with his glowing companions that truly illuminated his path. Eli glanced at the vibrant lantern beside him, its feathers still shimmering brightly in the serene night. He understood now that it wasn't merely the lantern's light that guided them. It was the trust and friendship between him and the flock that had ignited their shared strength. Each flickering light represented not just hope, but also their connection, a reminder that together, they could weather any storm. With a heart filled with gratitude, Eli spoke softly to the creatures around him. "We did this together," he whispered, knowing deep down that true light comes from within. It grows brighter with friendship and support, illuminating the way even in the darkest of times. Inspired by this realization, Eli felt ready for whatever adventures lay ahead, confident in both himself and his flock. As they basked in the peaceful glow of the moonlight, Eli and his flock felt a wave of joy wash over them. They had faced the storm together, and now it was time to celebrate their adventure and the bond that had grown stronger through their trials. With laughter filling the air, the glowing creatures began to twirl around Eli, their lights flickering playfully as if they were dancing under the stars. Eli raised his lantern high, its vibrant feathers shimmering brightly in the night. "Together, we are unstoppable," he proclaimed with a grin, his heart swelling with pride for his loyal companions. The night seemed to respond to their celebration. Even the gentle breeze carried an air of happiness, rustling through the leaves like applause. With spirits lifted, Eli and his flock set off once more into the enchanting landscape ahead. They walked side by side, excited for the adventures that awaited them under the vast sky filled with twinkling stars. Each step forward was filled with hope and determination, ready to face whatever challenges might arise. United in friendship and light, they journeyed onward into the night, knowing that together they could conquer anything that lay ahead.